From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Hello, I'm Alex Tomoff here with your Campus Weather Service forecast for Friday, October 7th, 2016. Taking a look at our current headlines for the state, we can expect some nice conditions for the evening for the homecoming parade tonight at Penn State. Some showers are expected to come in later tonight, but they should hold off for the parade this evening. However, for the football game tomorrow against Maryland, expect some heavy showers to be moving in potentially before the game tomorrow starting in the morning. So if you have any kind of tailgating plans or any events going on before the game, make sure you are prepared for some rain before the start of the football game, potentially lasting into the game as well in the halftime. We'll take a look at that in a bit. And then again, the biggest headline out there is Hurricane Matthew as it comes up the southeast coast. We'll have more on that in just a bit. Current conditions out there in the Nittany Valley webcam, some clouds are still lingering around throughout the area in the central part of the state, keeping temperatures a little bit cooler here at 64 degrees now, warming up a bit from this morning. We were in the lower 50s due to these clouds early in the morning. Dew points are in the low 50s, 54 degrees, visibility up to 10 miles, south-southwest wind at 5. And then looking at some temperatures around the state, a little bit cooler here in the central part here, Ridge Valley, the Center County region, 64 in State College. But again, a little bit warmer to the southeast here in Carlisle, and then up into the 70s, low 70s here, just west of State College as well. Again, if you zoom out, the same pattern, 71 in Philadelphia, 74 in Pittsburgh, and then the warm spot of the state, surprisingly up in Erie, 75 degrees. If you look at our current radar, again, you can see these clouds that moved in through the central part of the state, keeping areas in State College and places around it a little bit cooler, maybe even some sprinkles down here just south of State College. And then again, we can see our next part of the next storm system approaching from the south along the Mason-Dixon line. So some rain showers will be moving in late overnight tonight. You can see that in our future radar here. Clouds again depicted right now in the central part of the state, increasing chances of rain moving in the southwest and western parts of Pennsylvania. But again, homecoming looks pretty dry for now and going into tonight, so it's going to be a nice evening for the homecoming parade. But if you go in through the overnight hours, the showers will pick up intensity as the cold front begins to take its path from west to east across the state. Expecting, again, before the football game tomorrow, some moderate to possibly heavy showers moving in before the start of the football game, and then maybe some lingering showers into the latter part of the football game. As the storm system continues moving off to the east, expect some northerly flow to move in, maybe some convective lake effect showers up here in the northwest part of the state, and again, some residual clouds as the storm system pushes off to the east and the southeast part of Pennsylvania. Biggest part of our headlines out there right now, again, Hurricane Matthew moving up the southeast coast, winds currently at 120 miles an hour, pressure up to 947, so the storm system is weakening a bit, but again, take this storm seriously. If you are in any of these evacuation zones here in the southeast, please be sure to avoid these coastal areas as the storm surge will be the biggest threat of this storm. Certainly water can be the deadliest part of a hurricane. Storm is moving north-northwest at 12. So again, as you look at our headlines, current advisories around here, if you're in the southeast part of Florida, I think the worst of the storm is definitely past you. So Melbourne, Cape Canaveral, Orlando, the heaviest part of the storm is definitely moving off to the north. As we head a little bit further north though, again, in Brunswick, Savannah, you guys are going to be under the gun here pretty soon as the storm surge continues piling into the coast. So water levels will be rising here, increasing winds, potential hurricane force gusts, and heavy rainfall is expected to move up the coast here in the next coming hours. And if you head further north, hurricane warnings have been extended further north past Myrtle Beach into Cape Lookout. So again, expect hurricane conditions, possible wind gusts moving up to this area later this weekend. Tropical storm warnings, again, also moving up through the Outer Banks past Hatteras and up into Kitty Hawk here. So again, keep an eye out on the track of the storm. The forecast models, as we can see here, have started to trend a little bit further north with this. Despite staying off the coast a little bit more than expected here in Florida, the storm is possibly going to come a little bit closer than thought towards Charleston specifically, and then up through the Carolina coast. So if this storm comes a little bit closer, impacts could increase more than initially thought along the Carolina coast here. After that, there's some uncertainty as where the storm will go. Some models have shown us doing a counterclockwise loop and then ending up in the Bahamas again. Certainly would be an interesting track. However, the storm is expected to stay weaker, potentially weaken down to a tropical depression or even a remnant low by the time it gets down here. Another solution would be as it just goes out to sea into the open waters of the Atlantic. So here's the current National Hurricane Center forecast. Currently a Category 3 storm. It'll be moving up again, like I said, close to the Carolina coast. Charleston could see a fairly direct hit, maybe the eye just staying right offshore of the area here. weakening though to a Category 2 and then expected to be a Category 1 as it gets to the Carolina border. But again, if you are in any of these areas, certainly follow any of the advice and any orders, evacuations that may be mandated along these areas from the National Hurricane Center and the local officials. And again, right now the Hurricane Center is expecting right now this loop back towards the Bahamas, but again, they're expecting this storm to weaken substantially by the time it gets down here. So it should not be too much of a threat later in the extended range. Looking back at State College, for your forecast recap, temperatures again today expected to go up to 67 degrees, clouds holding on throughout the rest of the evening. Expect a couple showers overnight as our storm system approaches from the west. Winds will be calm. Again, football game tomorrow though against Maryland. Expect some rain early in the morning, tapering off through the afternoon and evening hours. But again, it looks like it could be a pretty wet one out there, so be prepared for any inclement weather that may arrive for the football game. Looking at your 7-day forecast, temperatures are expected to stay in the mid-60s for the next couple of days. Saturday is going to be the biggest day for rain, but after that, temperatures a little bit cooler for the end of the weekend, but moderating back up into the lower mid-60s throughout the week. A mix of sun and clouds is expected, so certainly looks like a bit of a dry break here going into the extended range. For the Penn State Campus Weather Service, I'm Alex Tomoff. Have a great week.